I'd like to start this video by first saying, although I will be arguing that maybe Von Miller shouldn't be a 99 on Madden 17, I really wouldn't put him any lower than 98, so I'm not saying he's not good, I'm not saying he's overrated in ability on Madden 17, this has a lot more to do with Madden's new rating system, so let me get right into it. So here's the slightly weird bit, we know that ratings on average have gone down this year, obviously meaning it's harder to get a very high rating. Despite that, this year there are 4 99 overalls as opposed to 3 last year. Although that's kind of irrelevant. Want to hear something actually weird? So Madden this year released a table showing which attributes count for what percent towards the player's overall, as you can see here. Now I'll put all of Miller's numbers into this table, but his overall only comes out at 90. Well, actually it's 90.24, but that's despite all of these percentages adding up to 100%, meaning of course that 100% of this should then equal 100% of the overall, but his overall is only 90. I did the same with Houston and his comes out to 89.21, so I have no idea how Madden gets the higher numbers for these guys, but it does mean that Miller could have a lower overall of 98 without it actually affecting how good of a player he is, as none of his stats in terms of how good of a left outside linebacker he is would have to be decreased. So here's why I think Miller shouldn't be a 99 overall. 99 overall rating obviously presents that player as the absolute best in his position. Now obviously Madden's interpretation of what it means to deserve a 99 rating may well be different to mine, but the way I see it, you have to be head and shoulders above anybody else in your position. So let's take a look at the 3 other guys that have 99s. The easy one is JJ Watt. He clearly is the best in his position and nobody in their right mind would argue with that. He's won the last 3 of 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards and his numbers are ridiculous and he just dominates everybody he plays against. Then on to the next logical choice, Luke Kuechly, the only player to have also won Defensive Player of the Year during Watt's dominance of the award. Once again, I don't think anybody would try and say there is a better middle linebacker or even one close to Luke Kuechly in the NFL right now. In the words of Tina Turner, he's simply the best. And he's not just the best all-round middle linebacker, he is the best middle linebacker against the run and the best middle linebacker in the passing game. Now the final 99, which is Rob Gronkowski, who is 3rd all-time in touchdown receptions by a tight end. Now granted, Antonio Gates is number 2 and is still playing, but at this stage in his career, he's no longer in contention for the number 1 spot amongst tight ends. That belongs to Gronkowski. Just like Kuechly, Gronkowski is pretty much the best in both phases of the game. He's the best receiving tight end as well as the best run blocking tight end. All 3 of these I would say are undoubtedly the best at their position, and a couple might end up being the best all time. And I just can't say the same for Von Miller. Plenty of people would argue that he isn't even the best outside linebacker in the NFL right now. I mean, plenty of players put Khalil Mack above him in the top 100 players of 2016. Even Pro Football Focus had Khalil Mack ranked 1 place ahead of him in their top 101. At the end of the day, all of this means nothing, but it's worth noting that all 3 other 99 rated players were always ranked number 1 at their position. Even when you look at their ratings in Madden, Watt and Gronkowski both beat the next best players by 6, the next best rating being 93, and in the middle linebackers, Luke Kuechly beats the next best by 9, the next highest is a 90 overall. However, the next best outside linebacker is a 97, 2 behind Von Miller. The thing is, I'd still have Von Miller at number 1 on the list. Maybe Mack can beat him out after another sensational season, but to be fair, I see him more of a defensive end at this point anyway, and I wouldn't put Houston into the running until we can see how well he recovers from injury. So yes, I would say that Miller is the deserved number 1 outside linebacker on this list right now, but he just doesn't deserve the 99 overall in my opinion. Some argue that his Super Bowl MVP award means Miller should be a 99, and that is a fair argument. He played exceptionally well in that game and deserved the MVP, but the problem is Cam Newton won the much more difficult to attain league MVP and wasn't even number 1 at his position. Is this me hating on Von Miller? I wouldn't say so. Like I said, it's 1 overall rating lower I'd have him. It's more about keeping the 99 overalls, the hard to attain thing that you really have to be the outstanding best to get a 99 overall. Meaning Antonio Brown didn't get a 99 overall, and I would say he's better in his position than Von Miller is. See, I really like what Madden have done with the rating changes, and I guess I'm just being pedantic with this one. Still, I thought it makes for an interesting discussion. Likely I'll get a lot of people angry at me, but like I said, it's not hate. Who's gonna listen? If you enjoyed this video and you don't see me as the anti-Bronco and you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to do that so you don't miss any future videos.